Hey, welcome back to the Colts Corral, your home for everything Philip Barbour Athletics. I'm your host, Brian Bybee, and tonight we've got a special preseason edition as we gear up for the 2025 football season. Joining me are three key figures from the Colts football program: head coach Nick Mayle, senior standout Malachi Cross, and senior standout defensive force Tyler, the Hitman, Vance. The team just wrapped up their first week of hitting and they're preparing for a big season opener against Grafton Bearcats on Friday, August 29th. So let's dive into what's making this team tick, how they're preparing, and what fans can expect this season. Coach Mayle, Malachi, Tyler, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Coach, busy week last week, first week of hitting, followed by the team's first scrimmage against single-A powerhouse Tucker County. What's the energy been like in the locker room?
We had a pretty good week last week, and then, came out Friday with our scrimmage, and, I thought we performed well. I mean, we're definitely at a better starting point than we were at this time last season. We had some things we got to clean up, and we've been trying to polish that up this week, and, we're preparing to host Frankfort, the reigning AA state champion. We're going to scrimmage them this Friday. Just trying to get things ironed out before we get there, last tune-up before we get into Grafton next week. So, there's some, mechanical things and technique and, fixing schematics. And, the best part about having those scrimmages is getting things on film where we can find stuff to work on and then show the kids what we're saying, and they can see it for themselves. So, it's been an advantage. And, intensity today, we had a great practice and overall on both sides of the ball and got in some special teams too. So, we're moving in the right direction.
Good to hear. What were your main goals for this past week of practice?
Well, coming off of our scrimmage from last Friday, just like I said, we're trying to polish things up, and work on finishing blocks, finishing tackles, finishing runs, and doing the job all the way through to get to the standard that we need to be at. So just focusing on going through the whole play, whistle to whistle, and making sure we're in a relentless pursuit to the football on defense, and then doing our jobs offensively. So just trying to get everybody to the standard that we expect by position, and then by our team standard. So we're working towards that.
I appreciate that insight, Coach. How's the team responded to the physicality and the intensity of the hitting drills this week?
Well, I mean, we don't play. It isn't 1980 football where we're just lining up and smashing each other in Oklahoma drills. We are, with a lot of form and technique when it comes to tackling, and we got guys, like Tyler here that you got to kind of rein them back sometimes because we got 36 guys. We want them all healthy for the game. But with that said, I mean, you got limits by the state on how long you can hit per week. When we go team periods, we're live in team periods, and you got quick whistles and stuff. But as long as we're getting to the ball, forming and fitting it up, and making the play, we're good. So, we have bursts of the, somebody will get a big hit at practice. That's a great thing. We're never going to call them off of it. But we try to take care of each other too. I'm satisfied with where we're at when it comes to that, because the kids understand also that, we're lining up against each other, getting better with the scout team. But then when it comes Friday nights, like, there ain't no quick whistle and there ain't no let up. So then they know how to meet the intensity that they have to be at.
Playing to the whistle. I love it. Coach, what were your takeaways from, if you could dive into a little bit deeper with us, what were some of your takeaways from the Tucker County scrimmage last Friday? Maybe we could dive into just a couple key points you took away from that.
Well, I think that we have a good rotation of defensive linemen, and a good rotation at our skilled positions, because of where we're at. We're playing Ironman football. We've got a lot of guys playing both sides of the ball. So anytime you can rotate those guys in and spell them a little bit, that helps, your performance there in the fourth quarter. So, I gained a lot of trust and confidence in some guys, some guys that we had question marks of, how are they going to do, at this level, maybe didn't play varsity level last year. stepped up. Like Sean Dent, he was kind of a question mark for us at tight end and defensive tackle, and he played his butt off Friday and had a great scrimmage. So I don't think that's a question mark anymore. And then our O line performed well. Missed a couple blocks, things that we can fix, but and then our ball carriers, Mason Jones ran hard. You had Landon Carpenter ran hard. Cam Bennett even looked like a fullback sometimes coming up through the middle, and then Tyler busted off a couple long runs, and so we look good up front, and we got a lot of weapons to be able to use in the backfield and on the outside. So I got a lot of trust in our offense, and then defensively, just the whole what we've been preaching all preseason here is just that relentless pursuit to the football. And the play isn't over until the whistle blows and the guy's on the ground. So when we got guys running from opposite hash and making the tackle at the other sideline, that's exactly what we want to see. So, I think we've came a long way in that area. So, that was, we pointed that kind of stuff out on film this week, highlighting those kind of things. And last year, maybe a guy would loaf on a play and take a play off. And then this year they're running down the field. Even when they ain't scoring the touchdown, they're trying to get down there first. So either to pick up a block or just be there in case something happens. So, we got guys that are just, there is no such thing as 110% effort. It's 100% all the time. So that's kind of what we've been preaching, and it showed up on the film from our scrimmage. So, and we're practicing that way too. So, it just carries over.
Love to hear it. Coach, can you talk about the leadership on this year's team, what you're seeing so far, who's stepping up vocally and by example?
Yeah, we did our captains a little bit different this year. I selected, the coaching staff selected 2 captains, and then I gave the team, allow them to vote on a captain. And then we have an armor bearer, which if one of those guys goes down, they step in for him. And so those 3 captains, we got Malachi was one of our captains, Pat Webster is one of our captains, and Mason Jones is a captain as well. And then Sean Dent is our armor bearer. We try to keep that guy an underclassman. And then we're starting a new thing this year. We're going to have a weekly leader. We have great senior leadership on the team, and I felt like everybody deserved a chance to display that, and then and lead their team, throughout the week, but, do their pregame stuff as a captain and all that. So this, we actually just passed it out for this past week. Malachi Pulling, we made him our weekly leader this week. And that's coming from, at camp, he had, a little rough situation at camp, and I may or may not have had to yell at him a little bit to motivate him. And then how he responded to that showed great leadership. And not only did, he increase his effort and what he was doing, but he's also coaching up those younger guys at the cornerback position, trying to make them better. So Coach Dent, the cornerbacks coach, he brought that to the coaching staff's attention, and we kind of talked about it, and we made him our weekly leader this week. So the weekly leader each week will wear. We have 2 number 61 practice jerseys that they'll wear at practice that week. So it's a pretty cool thing, and it's a good tradition to start today.
Absolutely, 100%. And number 61 certainly it's a very, very important number in the program. There's no doubt about that. So great to hear that. I'm glad to hear you guys doing that. Coach, last question for you before we jump in with Malachi and then to Tyler. Who from the young players on the team? I know what to expect from Tyler and to Malachi and the other seniors on this team and juniors. Give me some freshman and sophomore names that you think have really stood out through the off season and in the first couple of weeks of practice.
You're going to hear Aiden Thorne's name a lot because he showed up and he's kicking 45-yard field goals. He can kick off deep as you need him to, and he can also punt really well. So and he plays receiver and he can play cornerback too. So he's young, but he's going to play just in the specialties department right off the jump. But he's in the mix there to be playing any of those outside skilled positions. And you got young linemen like Eli Tyler. He's a freshman. that's great big kid, still young, still learning, but I'm excited to see his development over the next few years. Even there, Devin Sublet right now is a small kid, but he's smart. He has good feet. He does everything you ask of him. So he's going to develop, and there's a lot of growth from a freshman to a sophomore to a junior. So that's kind of what I get the most out of is seeing those young guys that come in that some of them never played before, don't have a lot going on skill wise, and then by the time they're graduating, where they're at from the weight room and from the coaching that we give them and stuff that they delve into at camps and that kind of stuff. I love seeing that development. And then you got Tristan Price he's a sophomore, great skilled player that's gonna he's gonna play some cornerback, and he's in the rotation there in the backfield. And then Parker Harrod, he had a great offseason, lifted a lot of weights, and he's in a rotation there for at inside backer. So you're going to see those young guys. Those are up and coming guys. I think that are probably going to stand out a little bit. But we have a group of I think we're at like 10 freshmen. So there's some growth that's coming. So that's what I told these the seniors here. Like when they graduate, they're going to be gone. They're the old dogs, and because they love this program, they got to bring those young pups along to see the sustained success of the program. Because if you just focus on yourself and graduate and leave, and then let everything crash and burn, then that's not a whole lot of care towards what you've just been through the last 4 years. And they all understand that, and they all have helped out and done their part to try to bring those younger guys along.
That's awesome. That's great stuff. I appreciate it, Coach. Let's go ahead and switch gears. Malachi, first of all, thanks for taking some time to join us today, you and Tyler both. But as a senior, how are you embracing your role as a leader on the team this year?
I think like again going back to the young guys, trying to pick them up. If they're not giving out effort, giving us a look and everything, get on to them. But then when they are giving effort and they're going hard in the drill, and they're making sure they're trying to get everything right, get the technique right, and try to give them praise and stuff. Hype them up, let them know what they're doing.
I like to hear that. Malachi, tell me what's your mindset going into your final season of high school football?
Just be out there, play every rep like it's my last. Go out there, perform my best. Help these guys win. Because at the end of the day, we're all family. We have years ahead of us now. So go out there and just have fun with them and make sure I leave it all out there. So later on down the road, I can say I did that.
Absolutely. Well, tell me. I mean, you played both sides of the ball. How's the offensive line coming along, in your opinion?
Definitely more polished this time last year again. We're not very big across the board at all. We only got guys that are like 6 foot, 200 pounds, and then me, I'm about the biggest one on the offensive line. I think we got a pretty scrappy offensive line, like high effort guys that are going to run to their block and get there and stay on it.
I like to hear that. Are you starting to see it gel a little bit now?
Yeah.
It's easy for a guy 6'4", 280 to say we're not very big across the front.
Yeah, but
There's no doubt about that. Yeah, Malachi. So, yeah, I hear you. Most everybody's going to be small to you.
yeah.
Hey, Malachi, what do you think is going to make this year's team special?
I think the group of seniors we have, we played together. We're all in the 8th grade championship team together. We've came back from multiple games in the playoffs, being down at halftime, and played some tough opponents. So I think it's just at this time of year we should know we only got one more year left. Go out there and play for each other.
That's awesome. Well, a couple more questions. We'll jump over to Tyler. So tell me, Malachi, how are you preparing yourself mentally and physically for the season opener against Grafton?
I think be out there and run into my blocks, run as hard as I can, and have those legs and everything. My hips already strong and moving on my blocks. Then and just get out there. I know Grafton's coming. They're tired of getting beat, so they're coming trying to beat us. I know I got there and play just as hard as them, and go above their intensity so we can beat them this year too.
Certainly. A couple fun questions I wanted to ask you, Malachi. Any pregame rituals or routines that you swear by before a game?
I like taking mental reps. I'll usually in the school building. If I have like PE class to go in there, I find a corner somewhere away from people and I run through the plays in my head and I like walk through my steps and imagine like my guy going across the play who I'm picking up or looking my guy up.
Love it. Love it. Last question. So I gave Tyler his nickname a couple years ago when we started the radio crew, right? So I've got one for you, Malachi, but I wanted to see what you thought of it first, okay? And see if I get your approval to use it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Malachi, the Mauler Cross.
Oh yeah, you keep it.
Well, it's if you have a better one, you let me know. But I just thought, you know what, man, what I've seen over the years, you just take control of your opponent and you maul them to death, man, on both sides of the ball. So that's kind of how I came up with it. But if you have one that you prefer, I'd gladly use it.
Okay. All right, thank you.
All right, brother. We're gonna go with the Mauler. Is that all right?
Yeah.
All right, good deal, man. Good deal. Really appreciate you, Malachi. Thanks for here, and I look forward to calling your name a lot this year. So, Tyler,
Thanks
first
for
off,
having me.
man, how do you like that nickname I gave you a couple years ago? I think it's fitting and it's stuck.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
It
Everybody,
fits you.
everybody.
Yeah, man, it fits you perfect.
Yeah, I hear it a lot at practice. A lot. Yeah,
Good.
especially
No,
person.
I, I love it. Good stuff, man. Well, you definitely earned that nickname, man. So I look forward to calling your name a lot again this year as well. But let's talk. I mean, your specialty obviously is on the defensive side of the ball. You just absolutely excel over there. What's been your approach when you step on the field defensively?
The big approach we like to do. We like to get like real fired up. We got a lot of captains and big guys on the defense that really step forward and get everybody, going and ready for game. Definitely during the rituals and all that, like pre-practice.
Can I ask you a question? Do you
Yeah.
guys ever bring the bear out of the mountain?
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
I have no idea.
He hasn't listened to the radio program because he's usually playing.
He's usually playing. Yeah, you need to listen afterwards, man. So we have a saying in Barbour County, and you guys, this goes way back to when we were in high school. But when you bring the bear out of the mountain, you're getting people fired up. All right,
Yeah.
and that's what we say on the radio crew. We'll say, "Hey, I'll look at Jeff, and he'll look at me. It's time to bring the bear out of the mountain." And that's for you guys to get cranked up. You got to bring it, man. So you ever hear that? That's what's going on. So get fired up, bring the bear out of the mountain once or twice. All right.
Definitely. Yep.
Good stuff. Hey, so tell me, what's your favorite part of hitting during practice, man? What do you enjoy the most about that?
I don't know. I always had a thing for it. I mean, when I was young, I was tackling people like twice my size. I mean, it's just what I've been known for, and I love to, just go out and hit them and just a rush. Love it.
You've still been doing it the last few years I've been watching you play. You're still doing it. So I love to see. You've gotten taller and you've gotten some muscle on you since I've seen you last year. So I like to see that too, man. Tell me, how do you and your teammates push each other to get better each day?
We like to tell each other where like our weaker spots, where we could be stronger at. Just try to help them out as much as we can. Just share information. Like the lots of things we practice at practice. Like spreading the call and calling motions and lots of stuff like that that can just help like another position. Like, yeah.
Good stuff. Well, a couple of questions left here for you, Tyler. One thing I wanted to ask you was, what are you most excited about this season?
Just trying to beat what I did last year. I had a pretty good season, but just trying to go out and do maybe better. Just take my team to better than the semifinals. Definitely want to, or quarterfinals. My fault. Definitely just want to win some games. For sure.
Don't blame me there, man. Let's go ahead. I want to ask in closing, Malachi and Tyler. I want to ask both you guys this question, and you can answer it one at a time. What's it mean to wear that Colts jersey and represent Philip Barbour and Barbour County in general to you guys?
I mean, right now it's a rush of pride. Got there. I mean, we only got 400 some, low 500 students in school, and it's 38 that's playing. So I'm part of that 38 right now, and part of the past teams this year who've tried to go out there and put out their best and be better was in previous history in the past of school. I think it's definitely a lot of pride you put on. You know that what you're doing, you're playing for your brothers around you in your school and your community. Go out there and win ball games and put the school on your back.
Tyler, how about you?
Yeah, it means a lot. It's more than just a game. I think the brotherhood in this school is definitely it's definitely strong. And the way Mayle, it's not only just football. Like we put a lot of like just good sportsmanship and
Relationship.
yeah, relationship.
Yeah. Well, you can tell it. I mean, you can tell it up in the booth when we're watching you guys, and I know how close you guys are. I've watched you guys grow into fine young men, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. So I can tell you, we're all rooting for you guys. Stay healthy, keep doing your thing, and really enjoy every minute, man. Because it's before you know it, you'll be 53 like me, and like where did the years go? So enjoy every moment of it, guys. Look forward to calling your guys' names a lot this year. All right, seriously. And I want you guys to have a healthy, safe, and a great season. So, Coach, any final messages for the Colts fans? I know you and I are going to talk again next week. We're going to really start breaking down that Grafton game probably next Tuesday night if we can get together, make our schedules work, and then we'll share that one. But any final messages for the Colts fans? Based off this first week of hitting, you've had a scrimmage, now you got another one coming up with this Friday. And that's a reminder before you answer that question. Final scrimmage of the year for the Colts this Friday, August 22nd at PB. The Colts host the Frankfurt Falcons, $5 admission. Scrimmage starts at 6 o'clock. Little plug for you, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Any messages you like to give out to the fans at this time?
Well, I mean, one is we don't take the the community support and for granted. We like to earn that and then maintain it. So the community has been great to these kids. We've got a great group of parents that are helpful and responsive to things that we want to do. We're a school that we don't have like an athletic budget, so we got to fundraise our butts off for everything that we provide for the program for the kids, and our community has really poured into that. The parents have really done a great job as far as that aspect of it. But then I love just seeing people that show up and support the kids. It's a big deal. When you get in a game on a Friday night and something's happening in the game, and that support that they can hear from the stands. They don't have to see faces, but you can feel the energy, and that translates right into the kids, and it definitely makes a difference. I mean, you can ask either of these guys, what it feels like, when you're down and out, and maybe things are going wrong, and then somebody, there's a turning point in the game, and the fans, get behind you, and then once that momentum gets back on your side, it seems like it just keeps pouring on. So, we like to represent our community and our school by, everything we do. We're just trying to work hard, earn that support, earn that respect. We don't expect anything. We want to go out and earn it. So we're not entitled, and our mantra kind of this off season has been no ego where we go. So we're trying to crush the ego, and we're in it together. And that's not just within the locker room, but that's the community and the school. And I love seeing that. I love seeing alumni like yourself that are really supporting and behind these kids. And you see like people like Barb Godwin sitting up in the setting up her chair on a Thursday night for a Friday night game,
Sure.
Somebody that, people that don't even have kids in the school that are, or kids on the field that are still showing up to support PB and support the program and support these kids and everything they do. So, without that, it would be just kind of us out there playing a game. But, when you have that community behind you and the school behind you, parents behind you, it's more than just a game. It's definitely a whole experience for everybody involved. So
Yeah,
we
no
really
doubt.
appreciate it.
No doubt about it, guys. Well, I appreciate everyone's time. That wraps up this special preseason edition of the Colts Corral. Huge thanks to Coach Mayle, Malachi Cross, Tyler Vance for joining us and giving us a glimpse into the heart of Colts football. Really appreciate it, guys. Again, scrimmage this Friday, 6 o'clock against Frankfurt, $5 admission. But really the countdown is on. Friday, August 29th, 7 o'clock. Colts take on the Grafton Bearcats. Be there, be loud, and support your team, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to keep up with all things Philip Barbour Athletics. Until next time, I'm Brian Bybee. Go Colts.